The novel of East of Eden, written by John Steinbeck, explores many moral dilemmas, such as the struggle of good versus evil, especially in human nature. The only way to express his ideas through characters is, of course, to develop and introduce new characters to progress the novel. In Part 3, Chapter 27, Section 4, Steinbeck introduces Abra, a young, outspoken, well-off girl, into the novel, and develops her character in a short amount of time. Steinbeck acquires a very descriptive, omniscient tone that contributes to his use of progressive syntax, detailed description, a syndeton, and subtle symbolic setting in order to quickly but effectively develop Abra's complex character. Steinbeck carries a very descriptive, informative, and omniscient tone throughout this passage that matches his overall purpose of strengthening the image of Abra's character. He shifts his tone once, or rather adds to his tone, through his frankness regarding Abra. She paused to let her shaft sink in. The author is straightforward when discussing Abra's strong, yet sometimes mean language. His frank tone shift comes at a critical time when Abra shows her controlling behavior. His tone addition adds emphasis on this particularly strong characteristic. He then returns to his descriptive, omniscient tone, which serves to meticulously and thoroughly develop all aspects of Abra's wise, controlling, manipulative, yet caring character.
Steinbeck develops Abra's character and reveals unlearned details through the application of a progressive syntactical sentence structure, in which he gradually increases sentence complexity and states a final definite character, drawing an allusion to that reminiscent of Cathy. Using simple sentences at the very beginning of his description, he merely details and figuratively draws the physical characteristics Abra has, stating, "It framed her head like a halo. She was pretty, with dark hair and 2 braids." These simple characteristics give her a strong image, as each simple sentence allows the reader to focus in on each sharp quality. As he transitions through the paragraph, Steinbeck starts emphasizing the character traits, focusing less on physical identity and more on personality. He particularly hones in on the appeal and characteristics that eyes have, saying that her hazel eyes were sharp and intelligent and completely fearless. It seems that eye characteristics have had a large impact throughout the story on human identity, a detail that effectively portrays the overall description of the character. Furthermore, as he reveals more of her personality, the sentence length becomes longer as he expands upon Abra's character development. The combination of these two rhetorical devices shows her fearlessness and stubbornness. Finally, Steinbeck concludes with a complex, lengthy sentence, which outlines Abra as a controlling, somewhat childish, yet intelligent person, one that is easily able to manipulate the 2 boys in the story.
Steinbeck uses the rhetorical device of a syndeton. Authors often use this to make a more dramatic effect because it speeds up the rhythm and pace of the sentence, which draws emphasis to their main idea. A syndeton is seen when Steinbeck states, "She saw opposition, struggle, disappear." Steinbeck uses this syndeton to continue the further development of Abra's character through this phrase, "She saw opposition, struggle, disappear," which shows the direct effect that her personality had on the boys. Steinbeck quickens the pace of his description to draw emphasis on what would follow the syndeton. Following that description comes 2 very short sentences, which bring a full circle to Abra's character development. These short sentences state that Abra had taken control. She was the boss. These 2 short sentences, in conjunction with the preceding syndeton, work to develop Abra's character to include the qualities of manipulation and control. Abra recognizes that she has the control very quickly, highlighting her quality of wisdom that is far beyond her age. We now have an image of Abra resembling that of Cathy, which we will explore more in great detail with the setting.
Steinbeck utilizes the dark, reigning, ominous setting symbolically and metaphorically to subtly hint at Abra's similarities to Cathy. Her character is developed in a way that already exemplifies her controlling behavior as we've previously shown, but Steinbeck's description of the house as decaying, streaked with water stains, and empty contributes to an ominous, creepy mood. This dark setting makes Steinbeck's subtle comparison of Abra to Cathy more obvious to the reader and further develops her overall character. The dark mood and setting mirrors Cathy's character and therefore subliminally alludes to Abra sharing Cathy's controlling and somewhat evil characteristics. It is important to note that at the end of this passage, Steinbeck chooses to show Abra's kindness, which directly contrasts the entirety of the preceding ideas. This contrast completes Abra's introduction and development, showing that although she has certain qualities that resemble Cathy, Abra shows compassion and thus is separated from evil, tying into the prominent moral dilemma of the novel East of Eden by John Steinbeck as a whole: good versus evil.